Have you ever heard of a house so mysterious that it was guarded by special forces for an entire year? A place where even members of parliament were denied entry? This isn't the plot of a spy movie. This is the true story of the Red House in Tarsus, Turkey, a mystery that has captivated a nation and puzzled investigators for years. What secrets were hidden beneath its floors that warranted such an extreme level of secrecy? Today, we're digging deep into one of the most enigmatic archaeological excavations of the 21st century. It all began in 2016, in a quiet, unassuming neighborhood in the ancient city of Tarsus. A police officer named Mythet Erdl, who had been tragically martyred, left behind a cryptic notebook. Inside its pages were not just personal notes, but clues pointing to a hidden treasure of immense value, supposedly buried right under this specific house. The information was deemed so credible that it launched an official investigation of unprecedented scale. But this wasn't just any treasure hunt. The rumors were wild and varied. Some whispered about the lost treasure of the Apostle Paul, who was born in Tarsus. Others spoke of a legendary Roman-era treasure, or even the fabled Ark of the Covenant. The most persistent rumor, however, was the discovery of a sarcophagus belonging to a king, filled with unimaginable riches and historical artifacts. The potential significance was so immense that the authorities decided to take no chances. In November 2016, a special excavation team was formed, bringing together experts from the Prime Ministry Disaster and Emergency Management Authority, the General Directorate of Cultural Heritage and Museums, and even the National Police's Special Operations Units. The house, which quickly became known as the Mystery House, or the Red House, was cordoned off. High walls were erected, covered with tarps to shield the site from prying eyes, and it was placed under 24/7 surveillance by heavily armed special forces. This level of security was unheard of for a typical archaeological dig. The entire neighborhood was on edge. Drones were forbidden from flying overhead, and journalists who tried to get close were immediately turned away. Even a local member of parliament, Ada Tsai, was famously denied access when he tried to inspect the site. He was told the excavation was being conducted under a classified court order. This secrecy only fueled the public's imagination. What could possibly be so important? For 365 days, the digging continued in absolute secrecy. The residents living nearby reported hearing constant drilling and the sounds of heavy machinery, day and night. They saw trucks coming and going, but always under the cover of darkness and with their cargo bays completely sealed. The government remained tight-lipped, offering no official explanation, which only made the rumor mill spin faster. Was it gold? Ancient relics? Something else entirely? The city of Tarsus itself is a treasure trove of history. Located in modern-day south-central Turkey, it was a vital hub for countless civilizations, from the Hittites and Assyrians to the Greeks, Romans, Byzantines, and Ottomans. It's the birthplace of St. Paul, a key figure in early Christianity. It's where Cleopatra famously sailed up the Kidnus River to meet Mark Antony. With such a rich and layered history, the possibilities for what could be buried beneath its soil were virtually endless. This historical context is crucial. Tarsus was a major city in the Roman province of Cilicia. It had temples, a massive library that rivaled Alexandria's, and was a center for philosophy and learning. Any significant find from this period would be a global sensation. Imagine discovering a lost text from the Library of Tarsus, or artifacts directly linked to the lives of Antony and Cleopatra. The stakes were incredibly high. As the one-year mark approached, the anticipation reached a fever pitch. The entire country was watching, waiting for the big reveal. Finally, in November 2017, the excavation officially ended. The special forces packed up, the security barriers came down, and the house was refilled. The deep pits that had been dug were filled with earth, and the site was covered with gravel. And then came the official announcement from the Ministry of Culture and Tourism. This statement was shockingly anticlimactic. It declared that after a year of intensive digging, the team had found nothing of significant cultural or historical value. The official report mentioned finding some fragments of a Roman-era colonnaded street, some pottery shards, and the remnants of a Roman bath. But no treasure, no sarcophagus, no Ark of the Covenant. Nothing to justify a year of classified, high-security operations. Naturally, nobody believed it. The public response was a mixture of disbelief, frustration, and a wave of new conspiracy theories. How could a year-long multi-agency excavation involving special forces yield nothing? It just didn't add up. People speculated that a major discovery was indeed made, but it was so monumental, so sensitive, that it had to be kept from the public. One popular theory is that the team did find a significant treasure, perhaps gold, jewels, or priceless artifacts, which was quietly removed and spirited away to a secure location, maybe the state treasury. Another theory suggests the discovery was of a religious nature, something that could challenge established historical or religious narratives, making its public release too controversial. Could it have been a tomb with an inscription that rewrites a piece of history? We just don't know. There's also the more mundane, but plausible, explanation that it was all a wild goose chase. Perhaps the intelligence from the officer's notebook was flawed, or the treasure had been looted centuries ago. In this scenario, the extreme secrecy was a case of the government being overly cautious. They didn't want to create a public frenzy, or what might be nothing. And when it turned out to be just that, the anticlimactic announcement was their only option. But the mystery of the Tarsus Red House persists. The official story feels incomplete, and the lack of transparency has left a vacuum that has been filled with speculation. What really happened during those 365 days of secret digging? What did the trucks carry away in the dead of night? Why was a member of parliament barred from a site in his own constituency? The house itself now sits abandoned, a silent monument to a national enigma. The ground beneath it has been disturbed and then resealed. Its secrets, if there ever were any, now buried once more. The story serves as a fascinating case study in how secrecy can ignite public imagination and create a legend. It's a modern-day treasure hunt where the biggest mystery isn't what was found, but why we're not being told. What do you think happened at the Tarsus Excavation? Was it a massive cover-up of a world-changing discovery, or the most overhyped archaeological dig in history? Let me know your theories in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the mystery of the Tarsus Red House. If you enjoy diving into historical enigmas like this one, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more content. We'll see you in the next video.